got pretty much the whole top end of the Monstermax engine here, and it needs a little TLC, so we're throwing it in the bath. Get it all nice and shiny once again. Make sure all the junk's out of there, so it runs right, and pays to be thorough when you're cleaning the inside of an engine. I don't know if you knew this or not, but most engines don't like dirt. Yeah, not on the inside at least. That is true.
Well, those Hondas, you don't need oil for those. Those run on just the engine, straight engine.
All you need to know about a Honda is if it's burning oil, that means it's got oil.
Yeah, Hondas don't need any fluids, they just run.
Mm-hmm. Merry Christmas, bub.
Yeah.
That looks very safe.
Admit. That thing's gonna be worked harder than a $2 whore on Friday night, dude.
You're gonna be able to pave the street with the water after we're done.
You said make it worthwhile for a grease ball to change the water tomorrow.
Whoa. Alright, so these are the heads off of the front engine. As you may be able to notice, they're a little on the crusty side. Go ahead and take a look at this set of valves in here. All things considered, it's not too bad. It's just, you know, pretty black. So we're gonna throw it in the parts washer before we disassemble it, get all this solid crap off of here. And then after we wash it, pull it apart, throw it in the ultrasonic, and call it a day. Alright, looks like we're in the clear. See you on the other side.
Shit's pretty clean. A lot cleaner than it was.
I gotta get me one of those. What do? Fresh.
Looks a lot better.
I'd say so. Oh, that's real nice right there. It's gonna need some work, but it's a good start.
It's getting repowdered.
It's probably a good move.
It smells like copyright infringement in here. We're gonna get demonetized.
Thankfully, you can't really do
That's good.
it. Those look totally different.
They were black.
Holy
Yeah.
shit, is that aluminum?
Aluminium?
The aluminium.
This was black too.
Alright, so here we've got fuel rails and accessories. All of these things are going to be polished to a nice mirror finish. And we've separated them from the rest of our crop here. Alright, so all this is going to our powder guy, Pat. And he's going to throw some color on it. And right now we're just marking all of the stuff that we don't want powder coated. Alright, so when we get a head in that we're going to tear down, machine, and rebuild, before we get into it, we like to pressure test it. What we've got here is a little rig with these studs on it. We take a head, set it on top of this plate. We've got an air fitting here. This sends pressurized air through the coolant passages, run it around the head, and basically, if it leaks at anywhere in there, we got a problem. The head's junk. So just throw the whole thing away, go buy yourself a new head. But in the meantime, we've got a head we're getting ready to pressure test. Meatball.
And then you gotta tighten her down. putting all these nuts on the studs. The gasket on there so we get no leaks. Line that up there. Oops. Alright, what we got? Alright, no. Then you take your water. Oh.
So we have no bubbles. So what's the outcome?
It's good. No bubbles, nothing. So now we're looking for bubbles to come out around the valves, and if they do, that is bad times. That one looks good. Last one. That one looks good as well.
All right, lads.
Shut the fuck up, Garrett.
This man's talking about spatchcocking turkeys. Aside from pondering life's biggest questions, we're scraping the silicone and soot, a little sooty there, off of the intake side of the heads. Or is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm also trying to get it all in one go, so it's more satisfying to watch. Spaghetti. We've got our head number 1 here. It's not clean, but it's cleaner than it was. It's clean enough to pull apart. So we're gonna start by taking out the retainers, and then from there, we'll give it a deeper clean. No, Garrett, no head. I charge extra for that. In the meantime, though, a little pop. Grab your magnet. Bippity boppity. These retainers are now my property. Hi, I'm Phil with Dan's Diesel Performance, and I have a problem. My pancreas doesn't work. So, gotta supervise myself here. Like they say, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Alright, you get yourself a little gusher going there. Hey, that's pretty good. This is a giant washer, and this is a drill press. Basically, you hover it over the center of the valve assembly, press down, and the retainers pop up. Get your little magnet sticker boy here. Get the retainers, and then we dump them on top of this other magnet. And the spring is no longer retained. Yahtzee. That one's a little slightly crooked. just throw all this stuff into this basket. We'll dip it in the ultrasonic for a little bit. It'll be nice and clean. Probably go a little faster. So we've got our magnetic magnet here, and we're going to use this magnetic magnet to magnetically pick up these little guys. And then into the bin. Deep cleaning with sound.
So another thing we like to check is for wear in the guides. And if you look closely, you can see these valve guides have got some excessive wear to them. So we're going to drive these out, replace them with brand new ones, ream them out to size, and they'll be nice and tight again. Right. Well, now that everything is disassembled on this head, it can go into the ultrasonic cleaner to remove any additional carbon that was not accessible by the spray cabinet. Put our one fixture on here, run it through our sandblaster, make the outside of the head all nice and pretty. Then it goes into our CNC machine so we can resurface the top of it, blown out, and then starts to go back together.
Alright, so we got all the injectors tested. Now we're going to go from here and we're going to start balancing these injectors out. If we take a look at these sheets we have here, they're showing that 3 of these injectors, the nozzle was either a little bit large or a little bit small. So now we're going to go ahead and shim the injector to be balanced as a set, and it'll be a balanced set. So we're going to show you guys how we do that from here. Target flow right there. We've got these 3 here. This one is a little low, so we're going to bring it up. We have this one. Both of these were a little bit high, so we're going to try and bring both of those down. Okay, so to do this, we got to get inside the internal of the injector. Gonna break this nut loose, pull this nozzle off. Now be really careful to not lose this shim. So that's the shim we're working with. So we're gonna measure it. So that one measures out at about 1.113. So I'm gonna go to my shims here. We want
These are all different sizes?
Yeah, those are a lot of different sizes we have. 1.113. Alright, so with this one, to increase the size, this is the one that was a little low, so we're going to bring it up just a little bit. So we're going to put a smaller shim in there, which is going to, when I was talking earlier about the needle height, or lift height of your needle, this is going to increase the lift height on the needle inside the nozzle, which will make it flow more. That guy back in, that little shim back in there. We're going to check our nozzle and make sure it's clean still. Put that back on. So now we wait for this one to run through the full program again, and we'll check the numbers against the other ones to make sure everything is all in balance to say. And yeah, that's about it. While we're here, we got Dan here, and he's going to talk about why we went with 60 overs on Monstermax, kind of the reasoning behind that.
Goal of 650 horsepower we have. Stock injectors are only good for around 500 horsepower safely. And what I mean safely is there's only a certain window of time you have in order to inject the fuel into the bowl of the piston and keep that flame in the bowl. You get beyond that pulse width, you start spraying at the crown of the piston or on top of the piston, and that puts more heat into the piston, causes higher EGTs, more drive pressure, more smoke, and we don't want that. So what we're going to do is put 60 overs in there, and that's going to allow us to run a smaller pulse width and lower timing, which is going to keep the fire in the bowl of the piston where it needs to be for complete combustion, and it's going to keep our cylinder pressures down, it's going to keep our EGTs down, and it's going to run clean. It's going to be running pretty good. So that's the idea behind it. 60 overs will handle easily 650 horsepower or more if we do decide to up it down the road. So that's what the plan is.
How do you feel that's going to pair with the 64
No,
Stage 2?
it's going to be awesome. It's going to be clean and very snappy, good throttle response. I think Whistle's going to have a lot of fun with this truck when it's all done.
Thing I think we need to keep in mind too is just all the other driveline products. You know, you get past that 650 horse mark, we really don't know the breaking point on anything of that truck. So
yep,
it's kind of nice to keep it within a safe, reliable power level, I think.
Mm-hmm.